Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today with my favorites and recap of January. So I didn't have any fails this month really, so I thought instead I'll just sort of talk about a product that I wanted to let you know what I thought about it because I'm not going to review it, but it's not a favorite. So favorites and recap. So this month, similar to December, I think in December I was mainly focusing on finishing up Project Pan products for the end of that Project Pan, and then January I started my new one. So this month was mainly me sort of using and getting used to the new routine with the new Project Pan stuff and actually really enjoying a lot of what I'm using, which is fantastic. So there's not too much to talk about, but I usually talk too much anyway, so this would probably be a 40-minute video somehow. I also wanted to mention really quickly, during the month, I somehow hit 50,000 subscribers, so thank you. I don't really look at numbers, so it's always surprising, but there we go. I'm excited. That's exciting. I also wanted to just say thank you for all the love on my Q&A video. I did announce something in there that I didn't want to create its own video for because I'm not about the sort of like attention and the sort of, I don't know, it's not clickbait, but it's like that kind of clicky video. It's not really my style. I like to be under the radar a little bit and just do my thing about makeup. So so I announced something in there, and I tried to like comment or heart most comments I saw, but there were quite a few. So apologies if I didn't, but thank you for any congratulations. I also wanted to say a big thank you to the people who have respected my requests for no questions or advice or stories just yet. There were a couple of, I know you didn't ask for advice, but sort of comments. Luckily there weren't too many of them, but I also wanted to just clarify that I didn't want any advice because I really like keeping these videos all about makeup, and I find it a little bit inappropriate when I come onto, for example, an empties video and someone's like, I know you're talking about skincare, but here's some advice about your vagina. And I'm like, yeah, I don't really want that right now. Like, that's not really appropriate to what's going on here. So, I appreciate people that could respect that I want to keep my channel and sort of my body and private life separate, if that makes sense. So thank you to people who did that. Oh, and there's also been a lot of people that are speculating a lot of things. Trust me, if I wanted to tell you something, I would tell you. There is no hints being thrown out. There are no clues. I'm not doing any like secret things in videos where if you watch every video, you'll get a letter and it's going to spell out a name. There's no clues. If I wanted to tell you, I'd tell you. I don't want to, so I'm not going to. So yeah, there's a lot of people over-analyzing and trying to read between the lines. That's all it is, over-analyzing and reading between the lines. So there we go. Anyway, on to what I actually want to talk about, not my vagina. Surprise, surprise. Makeup and beauty products. So this month I spent a lot of time, probably over 2.5 weeks, reviewing the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. And that was a really long review, so I apologize to people who had to watch an hour-long review about the Metropolis palette. I'm actually not wearing this on my eyes today. I've just started my review on my Jackie Aina Anastasia Beverly Hills review, so that's what's on my eyes today. But this is the palette that sort of consumed my month, and like looking back at it, so at the end of my very, very long review and demonstrating all shades but one accidentally, my conclusion was that I really love the formula and I really like the color story of this, but there are so many repetitive shades that they missed out on making this a lot more versatile than it can be. Like, they just needed more highlights and lowlights and a little bit more versatility in the shades, and this would have been probably the palette of like the decade. Not quite, that's dramatic. Palette of the year, whatever. But as it is, I still really like this. I still really enjoy reaching for it. And even though there are some gaps that sort of frustrate me because having this many shades, there shouldn't be gaps, I still really enjoy it. So this is going to be my favorites because I liked all the looks I created with it pretty much. I really like the quality. I have been reaching for this. I've put it on hold because I'm going Jackie, so it is what it is. But overall, I do really like this palette. But yeah, if you want to see my long review where sort of I start really positive and I start realizing there are some flaws, but you know, whatever. Your experience changes as you use something more and more. I will link that down below, but overall, it's still a solid palette that I really enjoy. All right, so for base products, one thing that I've been loving, and I'm kicking myself because I've been using it a lot and it's not a Project Pan product. I'm like, you should be using your Project Pan products. This is actually the foundation. I mentioned this in my favorites of 2019, but I have picked it up again and I really do enjoy it. So this is the La Roche-Posay Toleraine corrective liquid foundation, and it's allergy tested, so doesn't have SPF in it, but it is a foundation designed for sensitive skin, and I just really dig this. I'm wearing it today. It's a nice amount of coverage. You don't need to apply too much of it. It's a squeezy tube, so you can't really like determine pumps on how much you apply, but I find that I will go to put it on and I put on what I think I should use, and I always use less. So I'm starting to like rein it back a bit, which is really nice. I always think that this is sort of like, in my head, I think it's like a tinted moisturizer or a BB cream. But when I actually put it on, it's like a good medium to medium to high coverage foundation, which is what I like to wear. I get a lot of redness, I get some sensitivity, and this covers it really, really well. And then all I need to do is go in with a tiny bit of concealer in the areas that I need it. But I have been really enjoying this. It's not like the longest wearing foundation, but I have worn it on really long days, and it just requires like the occasional slight touch up around the nose with some powder, and it keeps going. And this shade, which is light beige, number 11, is like pretty much my perfect skin tone right now. And like it might be a little bit light for winter, but it just blends so seamlessly onto my neck. I don't need to bring anything down my neck. I don't need to tweak the color. It's just a really, really basic but good foundation that I keep wanting to reach for. So yeah, really dig that. All right, I'm going to admit that I have a product here that is very old and discontinued, but I've been really enjoying it. And I just wanted to I know a lot of people own this, so I thought I'll give you some inspiration to pull it out and enjoy it as much as I have. This is actually in my Project Pan, and this is very, it's a very ambitious product to put in my Project Pan. It is by Tarte, and it is the Color Wheel Amazonian Clay Blush Palette, and it's from holidays, I think maybe 2017, maybe earlier. I don't know, maybe 2016. It's old. Anyway, it's a blush palette. It's got 2 highlighters and 8 blushes. I've been mainly using this top bit. I sort of see that this bottom bit is more of a winter sort of color vibe to me. So I've been ignoring that, but I've been using the heck out of the top. So today I'm using it on my cheeks. I'm using this shade and I'm using the highlighter. So the highlighter I've mainly been using this month is this one, like all the time. And I'll show you the dip in it. I'm going to film my Project Pan 1 month update next week. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more use out of this. But pretty much these 3 shades, I've used them every day. And I have been dipping in a little bit with this sort of like, it's like a warm toned bright pink, but if you use the smallest amount, it sort of gives a sort of peachy vibe to the skin. But these work really, really beautifully, and the like dent that I have in that is ridiculous. Even the one that's happening in this right now. So that's my most common combination. But I really enjoy it. I like that you've got like a blush, but then the highlighter works really well with it. So you almost, sometimes generally I'll use the same brush. So say I get like this kind of brush, I'll tap in one of the blush colors, I'll put it on, and then I'll wipe a little bit off, tap in with the highlighter and sort of mix it in together. So it does have the highlighted sort of topper, but it sort of works with the color of the blush. And I just think that these they're not the standard Amazonian clay formula. This is like a holiday sort of cheaper version, I think, but I really do dig it. And I'll zoom in so you can see how much I've used of that, which is evident that how much I've been loving this, because I think it probably had similar usage to down here, which I'll show you as well. And I've used it a lot. So hopefully you can see that that sort of road has been worn away on that, which is crazy. So you can see it quite strong on the pink, but these ones are getting worn away. And my past usage was probably similar to the one down the bottom. So you can still see that path and that pan design, but it's sort of almost completely gone from that top one. So yeah, annoying because this is a very old product, but I do know a lot of people own it. If you do own it, pull it out and enjoy it because it's great. All right, when it comes to lip products, I've pretty much been using some Project Pan stuff or a bright lip, like I'm using a bright lip today, which I have in here, so I'll tell you what it is. But I've been sort of just, once again, delving into what I already own and appreciating sort of the collection that I already have, which is nice. The Project Pan products that I've been using a lot. So if I need a sort of glossy lip, I use this ColourPop ultra glossy lip in Moonchild. It's a really nice sort of cool toned brownie nude. I really like it. If I want to make it a little bit darker, I'll just pair it with a lip liner. But if I want just a sort of matte darker nude, I've been really enjoying my Huda Beauty. This is a liquid matte lipstick in Trendsetter. So that one is one that I've been wearing a lot as well. And these are, again, Project Pan products. So it's very nice that I'm enjoying my Project Pan products. It's a really nice feeling that I'm like, I want to use them every day. So that's pretty much the sweet spot, I think, when it comes to panning. When it comes to bright lips, I have pulled out my Shiramira matte lipsticks because I'll tell you why. I actually ordered some of their matte sparkly lipsticks. It's going to sound crazy. I don't like sparkly lipsticks, but we talked about it actually ended up being the Lunar New Year collection, sort of like a red collection they brought out. And they brought out a bunch of different finish sort of red lipsticks with red packaging. And there was a new formula that was a matte, so similar to these, but it had like a micro glitter in it. And the swatch on the lips looked so gorgeous. I'm like, I have to order one or two of them. So I decided to start pulling out the lipsticks I already own because I just wanted to make sure that none of the shades that were in that collection that I was ordering I already owned. So I pulled them out, all the reds that I own and the sort of orangey tones, and I've been wearing these ever since and I love them. So today I'm wearing the orange one, which is the matte orange in 550. These are a bit funky because I use them all the time, but it is a bright sort of not yellow orange, it's a reddy orange. These are very powdery lipsticks, and I have tried a lighter shade, I think it was like a peachy nude. It looked horrible on the lips because it almost looked powdery. But these matte, like bright, colorful ones are gorgeous because they almost have a moussey feel to them, but they give that powdery finish that really amplifies the color. So that's what I'm currently wearing, the orange 550. Of course, oldie but a goodie, Yaz Red, which I have a backup of and I love it. So this is Yaz Red, which was a limited edition one from, I think it was 2 years ago now, but it is amazing. I love that this one is a nice mix between sort of like a reddy orange, but also a coral, like a corally pink. So it does have pink tones to it and it's just really, really beautiful on the lips. A sort of more pinky one that I have been using as well is the Matte Red in 156. So you can see that it is more of a pink tone. They all look very similar, but I love them all. And it's been summer and hot, and it's been such a fun way to just add in a bit of a vibrant color to a pretty pared down look. So that's what I've been doing a lot. And this is the Matte Red 144, sorry. And that one is probably the most true red out of the bunch. And if you missed out on Yaz Red, it is the one that is most similar to it. So red, pink, pinky red, and orange. And I have been loving them. I've been loving them for years, but I've been re-loving them. So that's what's generally on my lips and what's on my lips now. Last couple of favorites before I get on to one sort of palette that I want to just let you know what I think about it. I wanted to mention a nail polish that it's a fluoro orange. I've been wearing this in the last couple of videos and I'll put a photo on the screen of sort of what it looks like in real life. So it is super, super vibrant, but to get the sort of effect in a photo, you need to like turn the brightness down a lot. But it is a neon orange and it's by Orly and it's the shade Push the Limit. So I've been getting into that because it's a really fun summer color. I just took it off my nails yesterday. I've still got it on my toenails, which is great. And yeah, I've just been getting into these sort of vibrant summer neon fun things. So you can pare down the eyes, pare down whatever you're wearing, and just have a bit of a pop of color. I think it's really fun. The last favorite I want to mention is a hand cream. This looks barely used because I try to use it sparingly, and I'm also trying to use up a hand cream before I get into this. So I only sort of like squeeze it a little bit. It's also one of those metal tins that if you squeeze it too much is going to come out. So I just do a little like dollop, just a small amount. So this is actually a present I got from Simon. So thank you, Simon, for the Christmas present. He loved this, so he was like, I want to get everyone this for Christmas. This is the Nourishing Hand Cream from Mecca Cosmetica. So it is an Australian brand, and it's the oud and juniper berry scent. This one, like the scent is nice. It's quite it's sort of like I'd say it's like a very unisex scent. It's a little bit more of a woody scent and sort of strong scent than I usually go for. I like the sort of uplifting sort of citrus ones, whereas this one has, it's like tobacco leaves, clove, it's like woody notes. So it's more of your sort of sensuous, like, I know a lot of people love these scents and I do like this scent. It's just that, you know, if it came in a citrus, I would buy that over it. But it's a really beautiful hand cream that sort of melts into your hands and doesn't leave a greasy finish at all. So I just put on the inside of my hands here, but it's really great because, you know, if you're driving in your car, you don't want to feel like you're slippering on your steering wheel. If you're typing on your phone, you don't want to leave like greasy residue everywhere. So really like the formula of that, and I'll definitely look into buying more of this particular formula and seeing if it had other scents as well, because this for me is more of a winter scent, but in summer I want something a little bit more vibrant, but it's beautiful. I might actually hold this out for more autumn, but yeah, it's really, really nice. I should mention one other thing. I'll go get it. All right, so because it has been warmer in Australia and, you know, you go out and about, you go to the beach, you go to parks, you go to whatever, the sunscreen that I've been really enjoying, and I have been using this brand for a little while, and I think this is probably my favorite one out of the available products they sell, is by Ultraviolet or Ultraviolet. It's an Australian SPF brand, and they've got this one called Queen Screen. So it's a lightweight sunscreen, SPF 50 plus. So it's UVA and UVB broad spectrum. And what I really like about it is, like, I'm wearing it today and it's just a really thin sunscreen. It's got a dropper. Sorry, I didn't show you that. It's got a dropper. It's a really thin sunscreen that really melts into your skin easily without it leaving it too greasy. And your makeup sits really nicely over it. So there's a bit of a shine because I just put it on, but it is a really nice lightweight sunscreen, easy to use every day. So I've been really digging this. When I first got this, I got this in PR a few months ago along with some of the other ones. There's a mattifying one that's SPF 30. I really like that one as well. The scent I don't like, but I have heard that they have since reduced the scents. And I do believe that because recently at Beauty News we'll send another one and you can see the lids are a little bit different. This new one's a little bit more neon orange. And this one doesn't have the same scent as this. So if you've got an older version, this one has a soft rose scent, whereas a newer version is, I don't know if it's unscented or if it's just got a lot less scent. So yeah, this is the SPF that I'm sort of happy to use throughout summer because it's super comfortable, easy to use on a daily basis. And like I said, it sits nicely under makeup, which is great. But yeah, in winter, I like to go for a lower SPF because I do have a vitamin D deficiency. So I find that I want to stick to the SPF 50 pluses when I need it. But in the cooler months, I sort of go for something else. So this is what I've been using a lot and I've been really digging it. So it's probably my favorite one out of the range that they have. And the product that's not a favorite, but I did want to mention it because I wanted to let you know my thoughts on it because a few people sort of asked. So I was sent by ColourPop the sort of Mint collection. This is the Mint to Be eyeshadow palette. And I did do a look on Instagram with it. So it is a mint green palette and I'll put the look on the screen. Now with that look, I think it looks cool in photos and it was a pretty cool look, but I just didn't feel super comfortable in it. It's not like pastel colors and really light sort of bright colors I feel uncomfortable in. So even though I liked the look, I ended up like toning it down when I went to the supermarket and whatnot. But I just want to say with this palette, like I've got sort of mixed feelings about it, but I also Initially, I was very impressed that these showed up as well as they did. When I did that look, I was expecting it to be like a washed down, sort of like just a wash of mint, but these are actually surprisingly punchy with the color. Even the dark shades are super punchy. So I just went down the middle row there, and that's the shades there. So even the one that you think is a little bit more muted ends up being quite bright. So let's just put some on my hand. So you can really see that it doesn't take much to build it up. And even with the mattes, like I'll just take some mattes. I'll take some mattes that we think are dark as well. Like, there we go. And once again, like, they're quite pigmented, which I was really surprised about. So all of a sudden, and that's on sunscreen, so it looks like it's gripping a bit. So yeah, when I was going for a more of a muted look, I found that it was actually quite hard to do because these colors are quite bold. And quite punchy, which I was sort of not expecting from pastels, because pastels are notoriously like chalky and they don't actually like adhere to the eye very well, and they don't add much color. These add actually a lot of color. So if you like mint, you might really like this. The one downside I have to it is that a lot of them end up looking very, very similar. So all the mattes, you know, look, I've already swatched some mattes. Let's swatch some more. They all tend to have a similar tone, even though like that looks quite, like I said, concentrated because it's on sunscreen at the moment. But when you blend them out, they all kind of look similar. All the shimmers sort of look similar. And you end up kind of going, do I need that many? Like, this could have been a quad. This could have very easily been a quad. But if you do like mints, like I said, there's no sunscreen down here. Like I said, they're actually really, really pretty and really easy to get on the eye. So I was quite shocked with that. So yeah, it's not a palette that I'm going to wear on a daily basis. I'm not going to wear it too much at all. But if I do want some mint, I know that this is a palette that I can reach for, and it does, like, it actually delivers nice pigmentation with mint. It's just that, again, you can condense this down to 4 shadows because a lot of them just look very, very similar. So those are my favorites and sort of recap of January. It's been a pretty low-key January when it comes to makeup. I haven't been buying much. I haven't been trying much. It was only really the Natasha Denona palette that I, really focused on trying, and the rest of the stuff was, like I said, incorporating Project Pan products, enjoying products that I've already had in my collection. So yeah, it's been sort of boring and low-key, but I've been enjoying it. Also, I think this week this will be the only video that goes up. I usually like to put up 2 videos, but end of last week when I would normally be filming, I went away with my mum, and then we've got a friend staying with us all week from Sydney. So yeah, I'm squeezing in a little bit of filming. But yeah, next week I'll hopefully have my Project Pan update and also my Jackie Aina review. We'll see how long that takes to do. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.